Hi, this is Greg Etroff, and today we'll be talking about transportation and how it shaped the development of Portsmouth on Remarkable Portsmouth Archives. In the 1820s, better steam engines made rail transport more practical, and the first railroad in Virginia ran from Portsmouth originally just to Suffolk, but was eventually extended down to North Carolina to connect the area by rail and be able to bring in more cargo more regularly than the relatively shallow Dismal Swamp Canal could handle. The rail station for the Portsmouth and Roanoke rail line was right at the foot of High Street at the water. The nickname of Portsmouth was Where Rail Meets Sail, or one of its nicknames. And the rail station ran for several blocks right along the waterfront in the 19th century. The headquarters of the Seaboard Railroad was constructed at the foot of High Street, and that building still stands. It's the white building with the semicircular front by the ferry landing. Railroads meant you could also run these transportation lines over hills and mountain ridges that disrupted traditional shipboard traffic. The reason so many Virginia cities form kind of a straight line through the middle of the state, Alexandria, Fredericksburg, Richmond, Petersburg, Danville, is that they all sit on rivers right at the fall line, spots where the rivers suddenly drop steeply. You get rapids and shoals, and river transportation, at least by large ships, becomes impossible moving further upstream. Because the ferry only traveled at set periods, and because the trains from Portsmouth to outlying areas only left at set periods, people would come in, do shopping and other kinds of business here in downtown while waiting for the next train or the next ferry to take them on to their new location. And the downtown business district depended heavily on people who were drawn in by this transportation net and this pause in their journey. Passenger rail has died in Portsmouth. The light rail system was torn up in the 1950s and 60s. The passenger trains stopped running in Portsmouth a long time ago. They stopped running in Norfolk for years too, but they've recently been revived. However, Portsmouth still has freight rail, and there are rail lines that run to carry shipping containers from the port facilities up and down the Elizabeth River to points inland. So rail transport is still commercially important for Portsmouth, even though it no longer has a passenger rail line, either streetcars or intercity. When the downtown tunnel was constructed in the 1950s and people no longer had to stop for the ferry, this caused the downtown retail market to dry up and was one of the major factors in Portsmouth's transition from an industrial and transportation center to the community we have now that's trying to redefine itself.